One day, Henry was collecting passengers from Lower Tidmouth when Ashima puffed in, looking aghast.
Are you okay, Ashima?
Asked Henry nervously. Yes, said Ashima. It's just, he needs to be stopped. D199 has to be deplatformed.
What has he done this time?
He's posted gory videos in multiple communities, falsely flagged so many users for simply disagreeing with him, scammed people, impersonated more, and I could go on forever. Henry was horrified. Just then, the guard's whistle blew and his driver got in the cab.
You gotta go now, Ashima. But I promise I'll get that fucking evil band off the face of the internet. Even better, I'll make sure he's put in prison.
But he wasn't sure how. As he puffed into Napford Station, he saw Spencer, Emily, Murdoch, and Fergus all horrified after looking at their drivers' phones. He must be stopped, quivered Emily. He sent the police to someone's house just because he didn't agree with their beliefs on liquor.
He is the most evil little shit running the rails of the mainland.
Let me guess. It's D199.
Call him. That is too good for him. He doesn't know the rules or anything.
Henry soon collected his goods train and set off down the main line, thinking about how to stop D199.
I know someone who's in contact with the National Crime Agency that lives in Wellssworth,
said Henry's driver.
Maybe when we stop there we can ask him if he can help us capture D199.
God, I hope you will help us.
Just then the signal dropped and Henry steamed away. After he arrived at Wellsworth, his driver took him into the yard where he would meet the mysterious man while getting turned around so he could take some passengers on the way back.
That's Walter. He's the guy I was telling you about. Why don't you talk to him while I go and get a refill on water?
So I hear you're in contact with the NCA. What would it take for you to help me get the NCA onto this criminal?
And he told Walter all about D199.
Given I have to travel halfway across Britain to get to the NCA headquarters, and can't just phone them, I'll do it for $50,000. I got some random animation projects I'm trying to fund.
Despite being shocked by the extortionate price and remembering his promise to Ashima, Henry agreed. And although he disliked his former reckless nature, there was someone he could turn to for help.
What have you been up to, Henry?
Asked James. Henry told him all about D199 and his plan.
And so I need to come up with $50,000 to pay some guy who will go to the NCA since the top hat won't let us go that far just for that. Do you have any ideas of how to come up with that kind of money?
Although I don't want to get involved in more crime, I have some ideas. Maybe steal some scrapped engines from the ironworks, sell them off so they can be rebuilt.
Just then, James felt something being coupled behind him. Here's your local train, James, said Rosie. You've got to get to Napford early, so Tom Hat wants to talk to you.
Alright, Rosie.
And James and Henry agreed to meet later to discuss further plans. After Henry had delivered some logs to Kelsthorpe Road, he turned around at Crovan's Gate and set off to the ironworks. He and his driver looked at the various scrapped engines all around.
We should get turned around and then we'll take some of the engines. Let's do this quickly so that nobody sees us.
Harry and Bert don't care if we steal scrapped engines.
Soon Henry had turned around, pulled out some flatbeds, and his driver personally operated the crane to load the engines. He then steamed out of the ironworks as soon as he could into the dark and scary night. The next morning, Henry took the scrapped engines to Peel Godred, where some workers at the aluminum works would be content with rebuilding the scrapped engines and having them work there. But as Henry and his driver attempted to sell the scrapped engines, at most the workers would pay $10,000 for all 4 engines.
I read online that they were worth over $100,000 each. Damn it.
We'll find a way to get over this, old boy. Just be patient. We'll talk to James about this later. He'll have some ideas.
But Henry didn't know that James was fighting his own demons. As he backed his coaches into a siding after his run, he was greeted by Seymour.
What do you want, you shipbird?
I thought you knew better than to swear at me.
Seymour said, the smell of cannabis pouring from his mouth.
Anyways, I heard you and Henry need money, and I need some for myself. I'm talking millions.
You tried to run me off a bridge, you pothead. Anyways, I'm done dealing with criminals like you. I know what's right, and I stay loyal to those I trust. Good day!
And as he puffed over to have his trucks loaded, his driver called the cops, informing them of the fact that Seymour had escaped once again.
I'll get revenge on that traitor one day.
Later, James met Henry and suggested a plan.
It sounds like we'll have to go to the mainland and commit some robberies. I know it sounds frightening, but we have to do if we want to stop B199. I heard there's a lot of rich places in Britain with a ton of money.
Although he was very hesitant on resorting to a life of crime, Henry agreed. He soon recruited me, Mike, and his mom Melissa to help.
Their intentions are honorable. I hope they find a new way to get B199 in prison. In the meantime, I'll spread awareness about him to the other engines.
That evening, we got in Henry's cab and set off for the mainland. I could use Henry's fire here to burn my fingerprints so we can't be identified, said Mike. Don't do that, I replied. You'll just create unique burn marks and we'll be identified anyways. My teacher taught me that. Then why don't we just use gloves, smirked Mike.
Whatever it is,
Melissa interrupted.
just be careful. I am shocked that I agreed to go on a heist with my son and his friend.
Soon we got to the station in Bridlington with a shunting yard nearby,
This is about to be like every heist movie, but worse.
sighed Melissa before they began work.
We can use that to turn around for the ride home. Hey look, there's a van. Maybe we can see if there's cash in there. There's Spencer, we can't let him see us.
Oh, Mallard. So pathetic. D199 thinks he can rob me and get away with it? Oh, how sorely mistaken he is.
While James and Henry got turned around, me and Melissa checked the van.
There's $15,000 in here! And you need $50,000, Henry?
Yes. No thanks to you guys, we're halfway there.
Just then, they heard a car coming.
Let's get out of here now!
Well, what did I just see?
It wasn't me. Why would I steal from my own home?
Henry and James sped back to Wellsworth to turn in the money they'd collected.
We've got $15,000 for you now. We're now halfway towards the goal.
Satisfactory. Now, will you two be nice enough to tell the other engines that if they need help getting into contact with the NCA, come to me?
Oh, I don't know. After Seymour nearly ran me off a bridge, I vowed not to resort to any more crime. I broke that promise.
But you did it for the right reasons. Trying your best to get things done is what any engine does, even if it means things may be a little risky.
You can't make this shit up. I need a break.
James smiled happily as he and Henry fell asleep, unaware of what they were in for now.